Hello everyone. This is the first lecture in a series of lecture on bank reconciliation. Now, what exactly is bank reconciliation? Before we start to dig in into what exactly it means, let's go back and refresh our mind on the business bank account. Now, you will recall that when a business is carrying on its operation, it normally holds a business bank account, and this I've replicated a business bank account here, and that is the record that we have at the business premises. However, whatever transaction that will pertain to our bank, well, surely we will have to go to the bank and do the transactions there. So I've assumed that I've made up, let's say our transaction is currently being done with XYZ Bank. Let's start with our balance brought forward. So let's assume we have a balance brought forward of £1,000. You will recall that if we have £1,000, this would appear on the debit side of our business bank account. This is because this is the money that we own. But how would this appear in our bank statement? Now, surprisingly enough, this will appear on the credit side. And the deal is this: why is there a difference between how the amount appears on the business bank account, so our record, and the bank statement? Now think about it. Who owns the £1,000? Who owns the £1,000? So it's the business that owns the £1,000. So technically, the business can go to the bank at any point in time and withdraw that money. So if the business owns that £1,000, the idea is this: XYZ Bank does not own that money, so it does not own the £1,000. So XYZ Bank does not own that money, doesn't own the £1,000. As a matter of fact, it owes that money at any point in time to the business. So if it owes that money for XYZ Bank, isn't this a liability? And if it's a liability, you would have learned from class that a liability would appear on the credit side. I hope that makes sense. Now let's carry on a few business operations and see how this is recorded. So let's assume that we are paying a rent, £200. Now you will notice that this appears on the credit side of our bank account. But remember, since the bank statement is the complete opposite, it would appear on the debit side, £200. Let's assume we are paying for marketing expenses, £300. Again, you will see this is recorded on the credit side. It's the complete opposite here. So that would go on the debit of our bank statement. Now let's assume that we also receive some money. So our customers decide to pay us some money, and let's say they go and pay this money straight into the bank. So this would go on the debit side of our business bank account. Let's assume £400. What's the deal with the bank statement? So receipt of funds, receipt of funds from customers, and that would go this time as a credit. What would you normally do at the end of the month? You would, well, balance off the account. So let's balance off our business bank account. So total, the debit side is higher, 1,400. So obviously our balance carried forward would be 1,400 minus, well, whatever we have on the credit side. So our balance, we end up with a debit balance of £900. And what that means is this is what we own, let's say at the end of the month. Now in the bank statement, I'm sure you will agree this will appear as well. Which side is higher here? The credit side is higher, 1,400 minus 500. So this will be the balance in the bank statement. Well, this will be a credit balance at the end of the month of, well, £900. Now, under normal circumstances, what you have in your business bank account, so what you have here, and the balance of 900, well, under normal circumstances, this should be exactly the same as the balance on the bank statement. But the problem is this. In business, let's say at the end of the month, I am paying, and I'm making this up, I'm paying, let's say I am paying for insurance, let's say £350. Yes, and I paid by check. Now, surely, if I'm paying by check, at the end of the month, this will go on the credit side here, £350. But let's say this happens on the last day of the month, and I'm paying my insurance company, and my insurance company did not have the time to go and deposit that payment. So let's say it was a check payment, and the insurance company didn't have the time to go and deposit that money in the bank. Now, what will happen is this, and this is just to illustrate what we're going to do in the next video. In my business bank account, I would have recorded, well, £350 on the credit side. So we'll go right here. But this transaction, because of the timing difference, would not appear on the bank statement. So I want you to reflect on that. And the idea is this. The balance on our business bank account may not exactly equal the balance on our bank statement. And we have to reconcile these two balances. So in the next video, I will show you what will cause some of the differences and how we reconcile. So see you in the next video.